3, come on!
What's up, guys? Welcome to the podcast. I have Carr with me. What up, Carr?
What's going on?
You know it. Antoine, welcome to the podcast. Antoine, how are you, man?
What's up, guys? Doing good. Doing good. What about you?
We're doing good, man. I'm excited about this one. This is going to be a big one.
Yeah, definitely.
So our first big announcement, everyone, is we are going to do a live auction. So here are the details about it. Live auction, all benefits, proceeds go to the USARK. We're going to do it on the podcast on the 5th. Carr has some snake season, wants to do a free donation pretty much, and everything's going to go to, like I said, USARK. So, Carr, do you want to show those snakes off real quick?
Yeah, I'll grab them real quick.
So here's what is going to be up for auction. And again, everything is going to be donated to the USARK, guys.
See if we can get them both out of here.
So you don't want to miss this one. Got a soccer over here.
I know,
We
right?
already had them out. No, I'm just kidding.
Let them out. So it's a pair, got a male and a female. So here's the female. I'll show off the female first. She's lesser, pastel. I think she's OD too. And she's possible Lucifer. Here, I'm trying to creak her up. Boom. And they're all 100% het pied. And then I got the male over here, who's just a pastel lesser, 100% het pied.
And those will be auctioned off as a pair, correct?
They are. They will be auctioned off as a pair. They are siblings. But, yep. Definitely.
Awesome. And then, as you guys know, I have already actually met Antoine. If you guys followed the video and stuff. Let me get this picture of Carr with Antoine real quick. Oh, wait, I don't have one because Carr didn't go. I got to troll him for a second. That's funny.
No, didn't make it. Some of us got to work.
Didn't make it.
No.
Antoine had to troll Carr there for a second. Problems. I was like, let me get that picture of me and Antoine real quick. I was like, yeah.
There you
go.
Right on, man.
He's like, let me get one of Antoine and Carr. Oh, wait, he didn't go. That's funny. So
yeah.
I had a good Carr crowd for that one. So
yeah.
He's
freaking
like, burn. So yeah, that's funny stuff. So Antoine, so how'd you get started in this, man?
Damn, man. Honestly, it's been in me forever. Like I started being interested in reptiles at like 2.5 years old. I caught a garter snake in my backyard, and I just got hooked on like holding that snake. I just got hooked from that point on. Started keeping reptiles since I was 6. My mom got me like a green iguana, which is never a good choice for like a little kid. But since I'm 6, like my family was not into reptiles, but they were kind enough to like let me have my animals. But my mom was very firm on 2 things: no snakes and no spiders. So that was like really strict. So I started breeding bearded dragons at 12, from like 12 to 15. And at 16, from like some unknown miracle, I managed to convince my mom to get a few snakes. Got my first ball python at 16. That was a spider female, nothing crazy there. But within that same year, I bought a banana male. By the time they were something like 1,500 box or something, you know. So still in the higher price, but not in the crazy ones.
Right.
And
I mean, bananas back then, you said we're going for what, 1,500? You said
1,500, yeah.
Man, yeah. I mean that's still pretty. You know, considering nowadays, whatever you can get them for a couple $100. You know.
Oh yeah. Like at 1,500. The year before that, they were $5,000. The year before, 20. So it was like right at the end of when they were like pretty pricey. The year after that, they were like 700 and something like that. So they went like super downhill. But no, I started like that. I just got hooked when I was younger, breeding bearded dragons. I got hooked on breeding and having like hatching babies and stuff. And I couldn't believe I was watching guys like Brian Barczyk on YouTube all the time. And I couldn't believe that some guys could actually live off of that. So when I finished high school, I went to business school in order to, get things going. I was good with the animals, but I wanted that other background for the business itself. So I did that. And by the time I ended my school, I entered NBK Reptiles facility, and now I'm here.
That's awesome, man.
Nice.
So when did you join MBK, or was it NBK?
NBK, yeah, NBK. I joined actually after my business school. Like at the end, I had to do an intern for school, and I contacted Brian Papuchan, which is the owner of NBK Reptiles, and I knew him from before, and I basically just asked him if I could do my intern there, and he offered me a job right after. So at that time, I think I had like 40 snakes ish or something.
Okay.
I mostly like juveniles and stuff. I was growing up, not necessarily any main direction, just like fun stuff, but nothing crazy. And he basically gave me the opportunity to work into a collection that was making 100 clutches a year.
That's crazy.
And I was doing myself like 6 or 8,
Right.
So I really had that huge open door opportunity to work full time at like 19 years old, get into a big facility and do that. And it was really eye-opening of like how much it takes to maintain and manage that many animals.
Right.
And so I grew from that point where he was doing like that 100 clutches and I was doing like something close to 8 or 10, and now I'm at 50. Basically NBK was mostly a wholesale collection. They are part of a bigger facility that's a big wholesaler in Canada, a big supplier for pet stores. So they did breed a lot of ball pythons, but most of them was like lower end animals in order to supply that pet store chain. But my whole mentality has always been high end and cutting edge stuff. So we're slowly shifting gear at NBK and making something more higher end, mostly from all the dinkers that they have. And now we're pretty kif. We have the same amount of animals. We share the same, like different rooms, but the same space in both of them. So it's a fun thing, managing 2 different collections, doing it full time. It's really cool.
It sounds like it, man. So you're still separate then. So you still got DPR with what you do, but then you help him on the side, correct?
Exactly. So the plan was never to merge any of none of them. We do some like split pairings here and there, but honestly, with the amount of animals we have, we really keep it separate. Just because they're really 2 different things, and I try to have different projects for both. I'm more into many recessive, more like higher end genetics, and NBK really working the dinkers, some freeway, hypopide, and lavender stuff.
Where they get those? Did they get those? Where they get those dinkers from?
They actually early in 2000, so like 2005, 2006, they imported. Actually, even before that, so 2002 or 3 or something, they imported large amount of ball pythons from Africa, and they were picking a few animals that look different. When I first started at NBK, there was like over 20 different dinker projects. It was like the whole collection was mixed match of like weird animal, weird females, and whatever. And in that 4-year span that I've been there, we really narrowed it down to 3 main and 1 that we're still working on. So we have that cantaloupe that you've seen at Tinley. We have the apricot and the burn gene.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the burn. I actually just sent that video over to Carr. He checked out his burn gene or whatever. I know you posted that like 10 months ago.
Yep.
Describing that. The cantaloupe gene, you guys, is on. You can check that out over at Tinley. I did do that Tinley video and stuff, and I did interview Antoine there, and he explains a lot about the cantaloupe gene. So you can check that out. And I'm sure he has a video as well on his channel too with the cantaloupe gene. So you guys can check that out as well. What about the burn gene? What do you see the difference between the burn gene and the cantaloupe gene?
Well, the cantaloupe mostly you'll see from the videos, but the cantaloupe gene is what we realized that the gene was actually doing is a cleaner gene from half of the side of the animal.
Okay.
So you really have, when you look at the Allen heads, it's going to have like a clean cut on the lower part, and then that whole lower part is going to be extremely clean, washed out. And when you stack genes, it actually enhances the colors. With yellow belly, it opens up the flame. So that's this part. The burn, we'll still like in the next coming years try to figure out exactly what it makes. So far from the supers we've made, we made some like Mojave super burn and yellow belly super burn and Enchi yellow belly super burn. It actually boosts up the color a lot, and it creates a huge white eye line between like all around that Allen head that you have. So it's a very interesting gene. We still try to understand exactly what it is and what it makes, because we see so many different new genes that are coming up and they're like highly priced.
Oh yeah.
But in reality, they've only had 4 or 5 different combos, and the breeder don't really know exactly what they have in their collection. So we really want to take another approach of just like taking our time, building a collection, understanding what the gene is, how it reacts. So then when we sell those animals, we can help identify the baby, and we can help leading that project in which direction we want it to take it. If you don't understand the gene you have, it's really hard to do that. So that's
it's really hard to sell it.
True.
So far, it's really mostly highlighting the whites on the side of the Allen head, a bit what you have with lace. Not going to say it's as clean as lace, but we definitely have something there. And the supers we've had with yellow belly are crazy orange, like they're really insane. So if like anyone listening, go check that video on YouTube. We are showing some of the super burns that are there, and it's a cool gene. It's fun. We'll see in the coming year what it looks.
Yeah,
like.
it's gonna be interesting.
For sure.
You have to take the time to prove those out, because you have to see if there's a super form.
Yeah.
You gotta see if it's freaking recessive, but you'll be able to tell that right away or not. And then I mean, there's just so much work. You just can't pair it one time and be done. Like you gotta do all those holdbacks and stuff too on top of it. I mean, it's a lot of work.
Oh man.
Will, he wants to know, is there any? Well, you want to spill your secrets on what the best dinker you guys haven't posted on YouTube yet? We won't tell no one, Antoine. It's our secret. Wink, wink.
I think so far the one that like the reason why we've only really brought like some cantaloupe stuff at the show,
right?
Because this one was the rippest one, in the sense that we had the most crazy combos to actually show and bring to explain to people what they were actually looking like. But I think the one that has the most potential is going to be the apricot, just because it has like the other two are more enhancer genes, so they don't change that much the pattern and everything. But the apricot is also a pattern changer. It's interesting. We haven't produced that many. We've made some proven supers, but we've had not that much luck when it comes to like the females actually going, like just bad series of events that the females were just not going. So this year we only had one apricot clutch. We made some apricot cinnamon yellow belly. They're pretty neat. I haven't showed them yet, but they're pretty neat. So before actually pushing that project, we're just trying to make more of them and try to hit that combo that's going to make a big difference.
Have you been able to work any of those projects into like recessives?
The only recessive we put our dinkers to in all of them, we have cantaloupe with hypo and pied, and the burn, we have some burn head clown growing. But the apricot, we don't have any recessive yet. This year is going to be dedicated mostly for that. So we're going to make head desagos, head lav, head clown, head hypos, some
nice.
So working on building our army and then bringing it back together.
Right. Yeah. So you don't have any visual hypo cantaloupes yet, then I take it.
No,
like,
no.
I'll take one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know I am. I'm the hypo DG guy. You know over here, you guys.
And I think it is going to fare very well with the Hypo Desert Ghost project, or just the Hypo in general. Like, I've had a lot of people compared, although they don't do the same thing. I've had a lot of people compared Mandarin and Cantaloupe in the sense that it brings a lot of color.
Ooh, yeah.
The Mandarin hypos are phenomenal, so I really think that hypo is going to be epic. We have some hets; they're still growing, and we'll see. We made like a clutch 5 eggs, and 5 of them are females. So it's kind of it's kind of crushing because we were taking a few steps back, but whenever we're going to hit it, it's going to be like with a powerful male going to those females.
No, yeah.
So Will wants to know: the apricot also has the peach to it, doesn't it?
It has a peachy color, absolutely. Not to be mixed with any of that peach gene from Justin, but it has a peachy color, absolutely. Yeah. So It's a bit of a pattern changer, and it also has a bit of peachy color.
Gotcha. That's interesting. So that's from NBK, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to check those out for sure because I think that's gonna be the next, probably maybe one of the next bigger things. You never know.
Well, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting. Sometimes when it comes to recessive, like let's say clowns, there's so many possibilities that we haven't touched. But when you enter a gene that we don't know yet, but is it going to affect it that much? If it does, you open up a world of possibilities with something there. That could be really interesting.
It will be really interesting. So, like, do you see like a comparison between the Orange Bang too with it?
The Orange Bang is actually a thing I've been really looking to possibly incorporate into my collection. I haven't taken any at the moment. But what really convinced me was the Orange Bang clowns because they look so much different than OD clown. Those are really different ones. I think it's going to be interesting. But I would say that they're different. I'm convinced they're different, but they still do something very similar that we've already seen,
Right. You see, I'd like to see an Orange Bang with a cantaloupe mixed together.
I agree. That'd
be dope. I talked to you at Tinley too. I'd like to see Red Stripe in your freaking cantaloupe as well too. I think that'd be amazing too.
I agree. That'd be neat.
That'd be really cool. So how many snakes do you have now?
In my personal collection, I haven't made a count recently, but I think it should be anywhere between 350 to 400.
Damn. Hell yeah, goals. Goals, man.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I just saw that you just posted your 2022 holdbacks video 2 days ago. I haven't watched that yet. Do you want to tell me what are some bigger holdbacks that you got going on right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So in that video, there's not all of them obviously, but just some of my favorite highlights. I've made a few like visual clowns hypo this year.
Okay.
And some with chocolate, with red stripe, spot nose, and I like a bit of mix of that. So I'm hopefully in the next coming years they're gonna have a lot of those animals, working on inside of my collection.
Right.
So there's a Mojave chocolate clown head hypo that's just incredible. That animal is insane. And also recently, it's not in the video actually because I just posted it really recently, but I made a spot nose, red stripe, yellow belly. That's possible chocolate. I'm still undecided or not. And she's head hypo also.
That's
nice. Spot nose, red stripe, yellow belly. Post chocolate clown head hypo. So that's
a power right there, man.
Yeah, that's really powerful. So that's pretty cool. OD Cypress clown and a lot of paint sentinel stuff. Like these two genes are basically the same thing. Lots of hats. Trying to move pieces in order to put ourselves ahead inside of that future because I think the paint and sentinel gene are going to be.
There's going to be huge too. I like what it does in clown.
Oh, it's
those paint clowns were insane. Yeah,
incredible.
And when you have a clown that looks so different, it opens up a world of possibilities. Like what is you're basically pressing restart button for every clown combo we've made.
Yep. Trying to get paint and stuff into it and all that. It's just reset.
There you go. So that'd be really exciting. So working on that, we actually have probably this weekend as I'm talking to you. There's probably a clutch of double het pain clown hatching in my incubator. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully a lot of females.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great. Here's a little update on your boy, though.
Right on, man.
You guys remember I got him? Remember I got him off of you?
Right, absolutely.
I got the blackhead HRA hypo boy off Antoine. You guys.
Nice.
And I'm gonna blow myself up here. So this is one of Antoine's snakes.
Oh yeah, he's big,
Very
man.
nice. Got the HRA, with the outline of the white and the blackhead, just hype. Oh, I love it.
That's awesome.
Even though he sold the Cypress one I wanted.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that, man.
It's all right. I just gotta give you crap for it.
Black pastel.
Snooze, you lose, man.
I know. I hit him up. He's like, it's just sold. I'm like, dang it. I'm like, well, I'll take this guy instead. Like, it all worked out. It was cool.
Oh, that Cypress smell was fire. He actually went to Matt Summers.
Oh, did it?
Yep.
I think I was talking to him or something like that at that time too. He's like, I'm like, dude, I want that.
You bought me a snake.
Maybe I should have kept it. Who knows? Probably.
Maybe. Got Will over here. Says, I'm about to go hard on hypo real soon. If I can find someone to take that weirdo off my hands. I'm telling you, hypo. I love hypo, man. I don't know what you do, how you feel about it, Anton. But
it's been a sleeper gene for so long. It's been in everybody's collection, but like tossed in a corner. And now people are bringing way more attention to it, and I like it because it's a really cool gene.
I do too. So, what would you do differently from when you first started to now? Like, if you could go back in time, like knowing what you know now, like based on the collection.
I think right from the start, I had the right mindset of doing doubles and everything. So I've always do that right from the start. So that's good. But I think the thing that hurt me the most is the snakes that I saw for sale. And I actually I was, I don't know, should I buy it? Should I not? It fits perfectly in my collection. And I ended up not buying them.
Right.
And if I did that extra work to get those snakes into my collection, I would be way ahead in my projects. So I would say that the animals I haven't purchased are the thing that have slowed me down the most from what I am right now.
Gotcha. Did you have any of those buys that didn't work out? Like you were gonna buy something, say a double het, but it didn't work out. But then maybe a couple months later, you found something better. You found the visual version of it instead. You get any of those?
I haven't had that exactly, but I definitely bought animals. I'm personally I'm typically the type to wait for the perfect snake.
Yes.
Most of the time that perfect snake doesn't really come or something. It doesn't arrive, nobody breeds it, or it breeds it but 9-10 months later, and then the animal that I have been looking for and I know another person bought, that snake's already breeding. I'm should have snatched the first one and then work it in my collection, and I would be ahead of where I am right now, just because I'm so perfectionist and buy that perfect animal for my collection. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes I feel we have that idea of what's the perfect snake, and sometimes just taking a step lower can also be very helpful. But
it could be a little bit cheaper too.
Yeah, definitely.
It can be. I mean, not by much, because everyone knows how snakes are and stuff like that. But
for sure.
Do you see? So, how's the market over there in Canada? Do you see are you selling a lot right now? Have you seen it slow down since everything that's been happening and whatnot with the war and whatnot? I hate to get into politics about it. But, I mean, it does affect everything. But
I think it's general for mostly every breeders that I talk to. There's a few of them that do great, but I feel there's definitely some sort of slowdown right now. Personally, my sales, I would say 70% of everything I sell is to the US. Just 30%, maybe 25% here and 5% to Europe. Maybe more, maybe 10% Europe and Asia. There's a bit of snakes going there. But I'd say the big chunk is definitely going to you guys in the US. There's definitely some slowdown compared to last year. Last year, August, September, October, and November were crazy. Really, really good sales month. This year it's slower. but you know, in any section or different like pages of the market, it's a matter of when you lose, you lose. You know, so right now,
Right.
if you hold back and you decide, oh, I'm not going to invest in everything, some people are still going to invest. And you've been to Tinley, you've seen a lot of people investing big dollars into
Oh
very
yeah.
expensive animals. If you basically snooze right now and you decide to hold back and not keep reinvesting in your collection, in 2 or 3 years you're going to be, you know, the gap between the people that keep on investing and you is going to be bigger. So although like sales are slower, I'm still trying to put everything back and reinvest as much as I can.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel you on that.
Nice.
'Cause, like, I wasn't trying to spend as much as I did in Tinley this year, but you know, I did. So
Yeah, wasn't expensive for you.
Oh yeah, it was expensive. I spent way more than I was already going there to pick up one from Ring Reptiles.
Yep.
Which that video will be released here soon. I haven't even shown them yet. I mean,
Awesome.
unless you guys, you know, caught the little hint, you know, earlier. But I don't know if anyone did. But yeah, so like, and then I found another girl that was you know, that I think I showed them to you, didn't I?
That's possible. What was it again?
I really? Give me spill my tea. All right, I'll show you guys one. Screw it.
All right.
All right, hang on. So this is the one that I really didn't want it, but you know, I've been wanting to get into it, guys. So
Just a quick
it was tough. So here we go. Like we got the acid clown.
Oh shit! I remember that female. Absolutely, I remember. Yeah.
You got the acid clown pickup from Tinley. So you guys saw it here first.
Oh, yeah.
Will be released here soon. You guys can see her again. So I can't complain with the acid. Let me see if I get her crazy head stamp. She has a crazy head stamp on her. If she wants to.
She is just not having it.
She's just not having it today. There we go.
Love
No,
it.
nice.
I'm
So,
huge that acid.
Huge investment, guys. That was a big one.
Oh yeah.
I found her. I got her from Jason Kittner.
Yeah,
over,
same. Male
yeah.
black plastic clown from him too.
Yeah, he had some really good quality acid stuff. So I was like, I couldn't not do it. I didn't want to do it, but you know.
I mean, it's a good snake, man. You're not gonna regret that.
I've been wanting to get it. It was one of those ones like I told you before, where I tried to get something before, and I was gonna put it into, you know, just make my own het armies out of it, and it just didn't work out. That purchase just didn't work out. It ended up getting sold, you know, prior, and then a couple months later, like here we are. I just got the visual version of it, so I mean that kind of worked out.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, the best way to do, get the visual.
I've always been a bit like reluctant to buy like very expensive females in the past.
Right.
Now I'm willing to put as much money as possible in the females, like really expensive females, because like you buy a very high end male, and it's gonna bring you as much as, you know, the possibility of the female. So you have a $10,000 male and you breed it to a yellow belly het clown. I mean, it's good, but it's never that's good if you have a yellow belly desert ghost clown. So like those girls, like that acid clown you have, that's female. You can spend like, let's say $5,000 on a male and make something completely unseen and start your own road and have something completely crazy just from that. I feel like those very expensive females, those very valuable females are so important in a collection. And often like people just want to buy high-end males and produce their females, but when you invest in those girls, it really makes a big difference.
Because you got to think of it too, guys. Like you're not probably going to get rid of a breeder, you know, female that's laying eggs for you right now. That's, you know, the high dollar, you know, investment that you did. You're more likely to get rid of your, you know, say your male, because let's say I got a combo that's a better combo than dad, so then I can just sell dad, and
absolutely,
you know, dad's not laying eggs for me, and I don't gotta wait 2 to 3 years, you know, to grow up dad. So I mean that's kind of how you gotta look at it, honestly. I mean, I know it sucks because, like I said, you do gotta spend 2 to 3 years to grow up these females and stuff. I mean, it is what it is. You can't do anything about powerhouse females as well.
And it's fun because you have that insane female, and you're like, you can just throw your cutting edge males, and it's endless. Like the amount of and every single year it's going to be something epic.
Yeah. Considering like what I'm gonna end up breeding and stuff, like where I'm at, by the time 2-3 years hits before she's ready, like I might have something completely insane.
There you
go. Pair her to, and it'd be ridiculous. So instead, I do have like I said, I do have a female zebra as well, as most of you know. So I mean, like,
Yep.
so I mean that's another big one. Like, that's one of the ones that is just like that's hard to get rid of because you can still make heads all day with her. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So like I said, so I know you're really big into puzzle and stuff too, Antoine. So you want to talk to me about your puzzle project?
Yeah, I'm trying as hard as I can. Like my strategy when it comes from like the puzzle gene, actually didn't have any puzzles 2 years ago, and I decided to jump in with a male and plug it to as many females as possible, just to build an army of the heads. And then buy another male and like a better male and run that to all the holdbacks. So basically, I wanted to have Orange Dream in my puzzle just like as a base. I wanted my male to have that. So I bought a pastel Orange Dream puzzle from Vivid Pythons. And I held back as many OD combo females as possible. And so this year I was supposed to buy a OD combo puzzle, but as I said before, I was searching for the perfect male, and it never came up. So I didn't buy anything, which I should have. So I have like about 8 or 9 OD combo puzzle female with cool genes like Mojave, Spot Nose, Bongo, Vanilla.
Oh, you got Bongo. I love Bongo, dude.
Yeah, Bongo's epic. I think the puzzle is going to be really nice. Mojave and puzzle interacts so well.
It does.
Bongo Mojave interacts so well as well. So I think that if you hit Bongo Mojave puzzle, that should be cool. So I have a OD Bongo female head puzzle and a OD Bongo Mojave head puzzle female that are growing.
See, I haven't seen a Bongo puzzle yet. I'd like to see what that looks like.
I don't think it has been made so far.
I don't think it has either.
No.
Because the Bongo clowns are pretty dope. Like I like it, and you can do a lot with the Bongo clowns, especially. I mean, even with pastel in it, it still looks good.
Oh yeah, it looks amazing. I don't know if you've seen. I don't remember the name of the guy. He's in Europe. He made some leopard, yellow belly, Bongo clown, and one with fire, and they're just breathtaking, completely insane. The way Bongo interacted with leopard, like leopard clown, are pretty. Throwing that Bongo in there just added so much pattern. I think it's gonna be cool in puzzle.
It will be cool. I'd like to see. I like to see what it does in puzzle because you get that chaining link in the alien heads and stuff, and you add the puzzle, pattern to it and stuff. It could be wild. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It would be crazy.
Yeah. So I'm really excited for that. Those puzzle combos, like probably nothing this year, but maybe next year should have some cool stuff. So, but ideally, I want to have a male OD YB puzzle. That would be like the base of what I want to have to work into my puzzle project. I think Yellow Belly is just going to be essential there to make very cool stuff. And so if I have another male with OD and Yellow Belly, so anything super OD YB combo puzzle, I think that's going to be a good project.
Yeah, that'd be an amazing project. Honestly, I love OD and puzzle. I love it. Great. I don't know. Like I have a super lemon pastel leopard. 66% het puzzle girl that I think is going to prove out.
Okay.
I was hoping to find a male in Tinley, but I was really surprised. I don't know if you noticed, Antoine, but there was no puzzles in Tinley.
Honestly, I have seen 3 tables with some puzzle stuff.
I missed out. I didn't see it.
And, there was one like Barry Swope. He was sharing the table with Jason Kittinger.
Okay. I didn't. See, I was still worried about that acid clown that I got. I was like, I probably didn't even look over there. I was like,
Yeah, some cool stuff. I tried to buy a male off of him, but he actually sold it before I could do anything. But it is what it is. So I think puzzle is. There's a lot of puzzle in Canada. That's for sure.
Is there?
Well, I mean, there's Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles that's still pushing so hard. Puzzle project. He's probably one of the leader right now in the puzzle in this industry. And there's puzzles popular here in Canada, but I've talked to people in the US that it's still catching up. Like it's not
still catching. Yeah, It's
Yeah.
still catching on. Like I love it. I've always been a fan of it. I had a deal with that 66% het girl. I just couldn't resist. But then I was like, she's not a strong eater. That's why he probably got rid of her. But it is what it is. She's getting up there. So that's why I'm just not too worried about a male right now. But I'd like to add more. I'd like to get a visual puzzle that's a female too. It'd be nice. So I still got a long ways to go too.
I definitely want to get some puzzle, but I want to get it without pastel in it. It seems like that's comes hand in hand around here. Yeah.
I don't hate pastel and puzzle. I've seen a lot of really good pastel puzzle combos.
I do.
Right.
Thing is, in clown, the reason why you don't want to have that pastel is because it removes all the reds and the oranges.
Right.
And whenever you add the dark gene, it breaks it down. Like it's not great. And in clown, you need that dark gene to make the contrast and everything. But in puzzle, I feel like I've seen some super OD puzzle, large female super OD puzzle, and they were amazing looking. So
with pastel in them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Super pastel puzzle, and they were phenomenal.
Do they age well though too? Do they brown out and stuff as they get older, like a pastel clown would?
Puzzle compared to clown is a much brighter gene in itself.
Right.
So, that still puzzle as an adult still looks great, because if you look at just a good line of pastel as an adult, doesn't look really that bad.
It's true.
But really
it's
the
true.
dark clown that makes it dull and brownish, not so nice. But the puzzle actually keeps it really, really nice. So I think that even though I agree with you, most of them comes hand in hand, like that. A lot of het puzzle stuff is with pastel. Like everything else, when you start, every other recessive is with pastel. Because pastel is everywhere. But I wouldn't mind just I've held back a lot of pastel combos, het puzzle, just because I don't necessarily mind to have that inside of my puzzle project.
Yeah, it's kind of I wanted like a lemon pastel, but you get more of those yellows and stuff in it.
Yeah, right.
Lemon pastel, and I thought it was really neat. I wanted to see what it did and whatnot, so I was kind of experimenting with that. Real quick, guys, if you guys have not noticed the announcement, we are doing a live auction real quick. Benefits proceeds go to the USARK. We're doing that live on the 5th of November. Car, you want to show those snakes off one more time for the people that just got in here that have not seen them? These up one more time for you guys.
See if I can. You're lucky. Not hidden this time.
Do that real quick.
I go. All right, so here's the female.
So we're doing a pair.
There are siblings. They're both 100% het pied. So this one is an OD, lesser pastel, possible Lucifer. 100% het pied female. And then the boy.
So guys, make sure you turn this. Like I said, everything is going to go to USARK.
All right, and then here's. See if I can grab him a little better. Here's the boy. Just a lesser pastel, 100% Heifer pied. They both have some really cool markings on them.
Yeah, they do. Very nice. So those will be auctioned off in 2 weeks. Are we doing free shipping on that? You doing free shipping on that, or are you having them pay for shipping?
I'll cover the shipping.
He said he'll cover the shipping, guys. Oh, there we go. So come get us
in the U.S.
USARK.
Yeah,
and if you,
cover the shipping for U.S.
You guys could probably honestly just make our lives a lot easier and just pay the USARK their donation for wherever you buy the snake for. So that way you guys know it's going to USARK, and we'll be good with that. So
yep.
All right, but anyhow, back to what we were talking about. Back to the puzzles. I love puzzles, man. What is your future for your puzzles and stuff like that?
I think pretty much everything I want to work with is going to involve Orange Dream.
I agree.
In the puzzle, it just translates so well. That's probably going to be the main goal. But then I want to work. I want to try, because the interesting thing with puzzle is that you have a whole open up possibility, a world of possibilities, to find what works like the best. In clowns, it took so many years to figure out that, like the Pompeii look, the Kraken look, Cypress Yellow Belly. These are combinations that work insanely well with clown. Now we have
Right.
the same thing with puzzle, and it's so fun because it's a whole open up world of possibilities of what we're gonna find out. So far, we know that OD works amazing; it brings the color a lot. But any Bell gene, so Mojave, Lesser, Phantom, whatever, works amazingly well with puzzle. Where it doesn't do as good in clown, like a Mojave clown, they're great,
Right.
but not the same. You so often like when you start stacking genes, you take off with Mojave, but with puzzle, it actually looks really nice. Any Mojave puzzles are great. So I think the most exciting part is going to be to figure out what works best and understand. Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's going to be a Mojave red stripe yellow belly puzzle that's going to open up a whole new world of possibilities. It's going to be that new Pompeii stuff, and going to be just completely insane. So it's really interesting to like shoot in the dark and try to understand what it actually makes.
I mean, that'd be really interesting.
Hmm.
I think it has big. I'd like to see it in clown.
Yeah.
Have you seen one?
Puzzle clowns. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
some. The thing with puzzle clown, I'm not gonna diss the project because I think it's too young. The ones I've seen so far look like really busy clown. When you start stacking genes,
Right.
I've seen some, and the people that made them actually never really posted them just because it was kind of like not the results they were expecting, and they didn't necessarily want to hurt the project.
Right.
I think it's still too young to really know. Like the day we're going to see, spot nose yellow belly puzzle clown, we all know what a spot nose yellow belly clown looks like. So who knows? We never know what it's actually going to do. It's not a project that I'm pursuing myself. I'm trying to keep the puzzle itself. I'm working with Desert and Hypo in my puzzle stuff.
Yeah.
Possibly this year incorporating that paint into puzzle. We'll see how that goes. But
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
I'd like to see paint and puzzle.
Yeah, I think that should be pretty cool.
That would be actually pretty cool because you get that pixelation of it and stuff like that, and like that'd be kind of cool, man.
Yeah, but I feel like anytime you try to mix too recessive, it's either a flop or a huge hit.
Correct.
There's either that huge interaction or not that much.
It's not what you're expecting for all that work.
The best example is the genetic stripe clown. It's the most unexpected result, and it's completely insane. That's freaking nuts. That G-stripe clown interaction is incredible.
Especially with banana, that's crazy. Like what Garrett was producing, like when he first came out with those, I'm like, that is insane. I never would have thought.
Yeah. No, those are really cool. So it's interesting to work those double recessive, but I think we have to understand that sometimes it can either be really big or kind of under of what we would expect.
Right, man. So obviously, what's your I don't know, underrated gene you think that not a lot of people work with that you think is gonna that goes well, or maybe those genes that you just that just not to hurt anyone's feelings that just aren't, they're just kind of overrated a little bit.
I think that the market's pretty everyone's trying to find a new gene, so the new next big thing. So I feel like the market is pretty much really aware of what's available and what are the big trends. I think that so far Cypress has to be people know about Cypress a lot. They know Cypress is insane. To me, Cypress is one of the top genes there is. I think
have you seen Cypress in puzzle?
I have, again, from Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles. He made some, I think it was a Firefly Cypress puzzle. Looked really good.
Does it?
Yeah. He's going to make probably more this year. He already has a late season. So that's cool. Then I think redhead's catching so much, man. With clown that it's doing, it's going to be insane. But we've basically just seen it in clown. I think without the clown, it's kind of subtle a bit. But I don't know. We'll see. Lace, people are catching up a lot on lace. I'm really pushing my lace stuff a lot because I think it's really going to be epic. But to me, I think the most like underrated gene is going to be monsoon when it comes to people. Like, they know it's great. Everybody's seen a monsoon, but I think that people are like underestimating the potential that the gene has. Yes, it's going to overpower everything. It's going to be really, really busy animal, but I think there's some real room to play with the monsoon gene a lot.
So I think it's tough because I think with monsoon, my personal opinion of it, guys, is monsoon to me is a lot like pin. It's so strong. It's so hard to manipulate that pattern. You have to go with a color on that.
Yep.
I think when your combos and stuff, I think because besides your Mojaves, monsoons, we've seen them, they look good. Your leopard, there's not. I mean, yeah, you get more of that busyness and stuff like that, but it's not the dramatic as much as what you thought would be. You got to go like OD on it. You got to go like I don't even know. I don't think I've seen an Enchi one on it yet. You got to go
made this year.
What was that?
Enchi Lesser Monsoon by Dave Green.
He just made that actually. He just posted that. I did see that. Actually. You're right.
Because that Enchi actually opened up a lot of the patterns, make them bigger. So if Enchi did that, who knows? It actually
true.
I'm basing myself on the Fire Moray clown that's been made in Europe by IRS Reptiles. Moray, different line of monsoon. They're both it looks the same. It's just different names, different bloodlines. And that animal, anyone listening, just go Google up on Instagram their IRS Reptiles and scroll down. You'll see the Fire Monsoon clown. And if you look at the patterns, they're actually much wider and much more separated. And this is just with fire. So I think that if you start with the base of a monsoon clown has wider patterns, and especially on the lower sides, I think that if you start stacking genes like yellow belly, spot nose, red stripe in there, I think you're going to have a lot of things to play with that monsoon. Realistically, we haven't seen that much with monsoon. We
haven't.
We've seen pastel, calico, Mojave, leopard, special.
Yes.
More
your basic type interaction genes, stuff like that was what you would expect to see from a new gene.
We're yet to see some cypress, some blackheads, some yellow belly, some orange dream, some all these cool genes that have really big effects. We haven't seen them before, so we'll see this year. If fingers crossed, man, if I can hit one clutch this year, I have a OD yellow belly het monsoon to a het monsoon girl.
Oh dang! There you go. That'd be nice.
If I could, if it actually interacts like the way I hope it does, this could just be an eye opener for the people that are not into monsoon right now. I think there's an
Antoine secret right there, guys. He has het monsoons. He gave it away. You heard it first here, guys. I got him to spell it. No.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd like to see that, dude. That's badass for sure.
Yeah, the monsoon. I think. Clown's my favorite gene, but I think right underneath clown, it has to be monsoon. Not necessarily just for the potential, but just because I've always loved a really busy granite type of pattern in any reptiles. I've always been a huge fan of the granite Burmese python. They're phenomenal.
Definitely.
And I just love those. So when the first time I saw a monsoon and clown, I was like, shit, we have that inside of our ball python genome. So that's pretty exciting. So for me, just that whole basic monsoon is still one of the nicest one. Monsoon is mandatory in Canada.
Everyone has het monsoons in Canada.
Shit, man. Everyone has het monsoons in Canada, but not a lot of people made them.
Right. Or you can find them,
Yeah.
If not, you're making possible. I mean, you got the het markers on the monsoon are so strong, it's so hard not to pick it out.
The heads are there and everything, but I'm still surprised that after 3-4 years of knowing that those were possible monsoons, we haven't seen in a lot. So
we haven't.
So there's a lot of pos hets, but we still haven't seen a lot of monsoons.
I'd like to see, So like I don't know if you know, but I know that HRA works really good with pin. I
Oh,
want to know. I want to see an HRA in a monsoon.
Yeah,
I
well,
want to see if you have that same interaction in it, like with if it brings in those whites along the
yeah,
the monsoon pattern and stuff like that. Could be crazy. I'd love to
yeah.
see that.
Well, we have someone here in Canada working on that. I mean, I don't know necessarily if he's working on that, but I know he is. Corey Woods have some monsoon stuff, so he has some of those. So for sure, like the head-red exentic stuff came from him. So obviously, in the next coming years, we're going to see some monsoon stuff with the head-red exentic.
Right. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope, man. I would like it. So
Yeah.
So where you have a hard, it's like let's say like it's like you're breeding, like what you breed and stuff, like what you hatch out, like what do you have a hard time selling? All right, do you have any projects that you might get out of?
Actually, I just got out of lavender G stripe this week. I had one lavender in my whole collection, and she was a pastel lavender G stripe. My goal, I wanted to make some like lavender grails, G stripe grails. Sorry, so like
Right.
lavender stripe clowns, and I'm like very stuck when it comes to the rack space I have, how many animal I can actually keep. So I actually just decided to sell that female to NBK because he's really strong in his collection into
Right.
So I basically just moved my female to the next room, so it's not a big deal.
That
But
works out.
yeah, but I moved out of that project just to concentrate on more stuff that like I want to personally work on. But I have a hard time selling visual girls.
Do you?
Everything that's visual as a female, I know the word. Some animals I sell, they're like 1,500. I'm like, man, with the right male, you can make 10 grand out of that single female. So sometimes I have a harder time selling those girls, but that's what it is.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
True.
So do you think lavender is dying down a little bit?
I think the way lavender has been worked right now in the industry, yes, it's dying down in a sense that, we've seen a lot of dreamsicles, we've seen a lot of black-eyed lav, leopard lav, and everything. But I think that the direction like Justin from Canova is taking the lavender, really interesting. Like those OD, YB, and Shield leopard labs, those animals are insane. We haven't seen that many of them. And I think that there's still some room left for other people to invest in the lavender project and have some animals that are extremely bright, because there's definitely a lot of potential with certain genes in the lavender. That's for sure.
Do you think? Okay, I was looking up. All right, so I was talking to Carr about this like probably a couple of weeks ago on Morph Market. Like here in the United States, like there was a shit ton of pieds for sale in the United States. Do you think pieds are dying down a little bit?
I mean, pieds are visually shocking snakes, right?
Right.
So I'm not huge into pieds. I'll tell you the main reason is because I like to see what I can do in 10 years, right?
Right.
So if I have a lot of like pied projects, realistically, we've seen all those super OD, super NC, leopard fire, yellow belly, whatever pieds, and they all are just brighter and brighter. There's nothing that much more that you really add to the palette.
Right. Besides, the DG, add the DG stuff into it, make it look, the DG pies with the OD, stuff like that. Like even pastel and pies, I like.
Absolutely.
I like pastel. I have one. I have a male. Like I like pastel and pies. It's not a bad thing.
But maybe like I honestly I don't check that much on Morph Market for pies just because I don't have that many in my collection, and it's not something I work on that much. But I would think that the reason why pies are maybe there's a lot of them available is just because they're so visually shocking that a lot of people want to breed them.
Right.
So actually a lot of are produced.
They could be good starter snakes for a new breeder, pretty much.
They are, and
pretty much what it is. Like they sell good for pets, and if someone that's just starting to breed or whatever, if they can ID, even if they are hard to ID, unless you get entry into it, bring the pattern back, you guys,
And realistically, like bring someone over into your collection that doesn't know anything about ball python and show your acid clown and a pied, regular pied.
Right.
They're gonna pick the pied. Just
That's
because
very true.
pied is so intense. These are like lower end animals that really get people hooked into that whole, like I've heard a lot of breeders say that they've been interested into that hobby just because of pied combos, because they're so insane. And I think that there's a big place for pied just because of that, just because they're so different for someone that is out of the market and has a newer eye. They look visually, they look like something they've never seen anywhere else.
Right. I agree 100%. So I got
Very true.
this is kind of blowing up a little bit on the chat. I kind of want to touch topic on this a little bit. So I got John over here. He says everyone's waiting to see what Justin does, which I'm sure, yes, that's correct. But you also have to sit there and just do your own thing, man. Like I believe you gotta do your own projects. You gotta do, what you want to do. It's not about chasing the big breeders.
I mean,
but I agree as well with Paul, where he says, so much he influences so much in the market. Like you see how fast paint went up when Justin's working on it and stuff like that, which is true. I mean,
it's in a sense, it's always good to know he's there and he's working with it for two main reasons. The first one is going to be obviously because it attracts so many people. Whenever Justin posts a video on something, everybody goes nuts and like, oh, we have to buy this and
right.
Eugene and everything. So he basically creates worth to a lot of projects.
Correct.
So although he dictates that market, I'm yet to hear Justin really dissing a project and diminishing the potential.
No, I have never seen him do that. No, you're right. He'll hype it up, like he'll come up with this new combo, and then you just see, well, there goes all the freaking paint prices now because they all just went skyrocketing. I can't afford that now. You know what I mean? Like
that is the main reason why I think it's a good thing that he attracts a lot of worth to a project. So let's say you're working into the zebra,
right?
Have some zebra. So whenever he's actually gonna produce some zebra stuff, you're gonna see a peak in the interest. So that's the main reason. The second reason is that no one can catch his actual collection. His collection is
we call it that all the time. Yeah. The Justin tags. Sorry, go ahead, Antoine.
His collection is just like so tough that it actually is the way he breeds and his vision and what he actually creates is often a lot of like eye opener for our own breedings.
Right.
To post something that looks insane, and we're going to be like, oh, this combination. I could have only done that in 5 years, but now I know what it looks like, so I can shift my breedings in order to go into that direction. So I feel like these are the main two things. Like I'm not really against the fact that he's so much higher than everybody.
Oh, no, not at all. Because you can see the potential of projects and stuff, and it's great. It's great for the industry. It is. Like
realistically, like he's not gonna make freaking 50 of those crazy paint combos. Like,
right.
He's gonna make 4 or 5, and there's room for everybody else.
Right. Oh, for sure. Like, you can't supply the whole entire market on it, like just one person. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it makes other people want to get into it and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, for sure.
True.
100%. I was gonna say something else too about that. But he got me in on the red stripe. When he came out with those red stripe clowns and stuff, I freaking bought one. I'm like, I wasn't from him, but I found a red stripe and she clown. I gotta have that. I'm like, red stripe clown is amazing. Like he got me in on the red stripe, just seeing those combos and stuff, and then like as the years went on and stuff, and now he's doing all this stuff with the red stripe and stuff too. I'm like, man, I got this male.
Oh yeah.
So for sure. So I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing at all, guys. Like it's great.
Yep.
I love it. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, Antoine?
Damn, man. I think I would like to be like, I want to push marketing as much as I can. I'm not doing as much that much right now. I love that idea of you walk into Justin's facility, it's nice and clean, it's beautiful. I like that idea of whenever you're doing this full time, or even if you're doing this part time just as a hobby, you're doing something you're so deeply passionate about that it's a fantasy, it's a dream, it's something insane. So I would love my breeding, like the facility itself, the whole YouTube channel, the whole collection itself, just to be something that like dreams are made of, So you walk in there and it's something that you've never imagined. It's like luxury stores, high-end stuff, just by how clean everything is and the look of everything. So that's a bit where I'd like to be in 10 years or something. But other than that, just, still enjoying everything that I do as much as I do today.
Yeah,
Like
I agree 100% on that.
I do this full time. I've been doing it full time for 4 years now, and there's not a single day I've woken up and I've been like, I don't want to go to work, man. It's never been work.
No,
It's just freaking fun all the time. And I'd love to have that still in 10 years. And who knows? Maybe it's not going to be in Canada. My girlfriend and I were talking like her brother is moving to Panama next year. And we have been touching the idea of maybe doing something there. So moving the whole collection in Panama. So we'll know. We'll see. Who knows?
So I was going to ask you about that. It could possibly be cheaper for you too at shipping and whatnot. You don't have the international shipping as well if you're shipping a lot to the United States and stuff too.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the cold, and here in Canada it's pretty damn cold. So it's like going there could be something interesting. So who knows? Honestly, it's not necessarily like sealed, but we're open to that possibility. So yeah, who knows?
Right. So do you guys breed your own rats and stuff, like feeding that much collection?
Yeah, we breed around 1,500 rats a week or so.
Woo! How much would that be for you over there?
Sorry?
Could they charge $10 a rat over there?
No. And I have a good deal with Brian when it comes to that.
Do you?
That'd be $15,000.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. No, I have a good deal for that. My rat bill is expensive, but it's much less expensive than it could be if I was not working with him.
Yes, I'm sure. Like I breed my own too, so it costs me probably around $300 a month, maybe a month and a half or whatever to breed my own for my collection. And I go get breeder rats every now and then to re-up and stuff like that. And I send him a picture of like, oh, dude, check this out. Here's 100 or something rats for like $200, $300. Like, dude, that's like $2,000, $3,000 over here. I'm like, damn. Yeah. Like, there ain't no way, dude.
Washington State's terrible.
Justin, how much are you spending on rats right now? Why don't you tell everyone?
About 280 last a week.
And how many snakes do you got right now?
I'm at 40 right now, counting the babies, but I got like 15 babies for sale right now.
So, actually, speaking of that, why don't you tell them about your morph market real quick, dude? Why don't you get some of that out there? I know you just create your morph market and stuff real quick. So
yeah, I got my morph markets all dialed in, but I guess I hit my extension on it. I have too many, so I got to upgrade it now, go up one more membership. And so, yeah, there's 15 available right now, but I also got probably 6 that are not on Morph Market. They are on my Facebook and Instagram, so you can check them out on there.
We did do that live clutch cutting. I think
we did
podcast too. So
yeah.
So what are your Anton? What do you have big that's in the incubator? Do you have anything in the incubator right now?
I do. I have a clutch. I think it's due in like 2 weeks or something. That's one of my favorite of the year. It's a red stripe yellow belly lace het clown to a OD clown.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Damn,
dude. Okay, packing that heat. I like
7
it.
eggs. Fingers crossed. Honestly, I'd love to see that red stripe lace clown combo.
I would too.
Oh yeah.
So far, I think that's like I have a few more things in the incubator, but nothing that's like super crazy. We're hatching clutch. We were hatching last weekend clutch 41, and we had clutch 50 late. So basically, like 8-9 more clutches coming until the end of the year. But next year we're shooting for something like 65, 70 clutches, and just it's disgusting.
Dang, that's crazy.
The combos are getting more and more crazy. Like it's fun to see how we build this organically of like holding back most of our stuff, not selling, like growing those animals and just investing in good males, and now having that opportunity. And we look down at the pairings, and I'm OCD, man. I have a book with me like right here. Actually, I was doing that yesterday all the way up to 2 in the morning. Doing all pairings all night long, man. I'm completely obsessed with that. That's like that's my I do every single day.
That's it. So you do it old school. So you just write it down on a piece of paper. I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I have a list on my phone just so that doesn't change of like all my pairings. But right now, since last year, I had all my pairings for this year. So yesterday, actually, I was working on all my pairings for 2024.
Dang.
You know,
Okay.
so, and that allows me, in order doing that allows me to, if I see a female that's gonna go and I have an idea of a male and I
Right.
don't write one, I can start looking for one already. Or if I have a male that's going to be overcharged, I can start to find a replacement with similar genes. So
Correct.
doing so much in advance may look silly, but in the long run, it really allows me to have something more dialed in. And when it comes to breeding, I've foreseen a lot of things that I change and adjust my breeding way before. So
Okay.
that's honestly this is a really good tip.
That is a really good tip because like I do everything on my laptop. I have a business laptop and stuff, and I do all my tracking on that. I was gonna ask if you used any apps or anything like that. Like the what's that one app that Billy uses?
Husbandry Pro.
Husbandry Pro. I didn't know
I'm
if you
pretty
used.
old school. I like a good old pen and paper. I like to write things down, and I use two things. I use my notes on my iPhone and Excel sheet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, these are good, reliable, and I'm interested by that clutch thing that from Justin. I unfortunately
I was gonna ask you about that. I was gonna ask you. I was checking that. Did you check that out attentively?
Unfortunately, man, we were so busy at the table. I didn't have I had a bit of time to walk around, but just to go and like have that whole speech, I didn't have that much time. But from what I've heard and what I've seen, I think it's interesting. I'll see how like deeply I dive into it. I don't know if I'm going to use it like as much, but definitely I think it's interesting.
Yeah, because I went through the demo with it with Summer.
Yeah,
and you can literally like choose the parents and stuff. It will then you can choose the genes that the parents are in, and you can do this all on your computer. And then, like when the eggs are laid, you can chart that and stuff, and then it will give you when they hatch of already the 7 slots or 8 slots or whatever it may be after she laid. And then you can sit there and pair the genetics and stuff like what you can hit and whatnot. It's actually really cool. You can log in. You can search by each gene in your collection. Yeah. You can see the percentages of your male to female ratio. It's actually really insane. I'm interested. I think it's launching at the end of the month. The beta is. I don't know. Did you sign up for it?
Yeah,
I did too. We all did. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm sure Justin will be one of the first ones for sure to use it because he spent so much money with Canova so far. I already know.
No lie.
That's good, man. Can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong with that for sure. But yeah, I'm interested to see. I'm really interested to see this app because, like I said, I want to log some stuff in and see like where I'm at with my ratio and like I've been female heavy lately. Like I did. My biggest error was I went male heavy when I first started.
Okay.
So I had all these males and stuff that were probably ready sometime last year, but I had no females. I had one. Or no, I had two. The one reabsorbed because her tub caught fire. Rookie mistake. Kind of probe fell off, and I was like, I smell something, and I think it stressed her out, and she reabsorbed on me. And I did have one go though. So I did have my first clutch and stuff. So that was pretty exciting. So like I said, we're still coming.
Still
coming.
Yeah. Okay.
So, do you have any like bad experiences that happened to you, Antoine, throughout the years? Like any besides your typical defects and stuff like that with clutches? Because I know when we did Antoine from High Desert, he said that his biggest one was he went all in on the desert gene before he knew it was infertile. I think he said he spent like what did he say, Carl, like 30,000-40,000 on this.
Yeah, his entire life savings.
Yeah, he got so bad. So, do you have any bad experiences like that?
2020 was my worst year for many, like one main reason, but it actually ended up for like causing a lot of troubles. I had a room still at NBK Reptiles facility, but I wasn't downstairs in the basement. I was upstairs, and there was in the summer it gets really, really hot in that building. and the ambient room temperature was way too hot, and it actually caused all my male sperm to be fertile. So in that whole year, I had 33 clutches, but 70% of all the eggs were slugs.
Dang.
Grew,
Ooh.
and that was the first year where I was breeding males, like solid invested. Like in 2020, I had a cinnamon red stripe yellow belly clown male, and that was in 2020 that was a big male, and he bred like 8 girls, and one of them went. Like
Dang.
all the others did lay, but slugs.
Right. But they're all slugs.
All slugs. So losing clutches on that, and I've had 2 clutches of het clowns, 50% het monsoons, slugged out completely, and heavy hitters that completely slugged out just because of a rookie mistake of my room temperature being too high, and I didn't really. I knew it was high, but I didn't think it would change that much, and so that was a big mistake. But it's a lesson learned, and you move on. I've had bad luck with my monsoon project. Unfortunately, my male got a hemipenis infection and died.
Ooh.
The female egg-bounded and died as well, a calico het monsoon. So my 2 original investments just like went downhill. And
How much money did that cost you, if you don't ask me?
$12K.
12K? Just gone like that.
But they're gone. But on the positive side, always try to see the positive there.
Right.
I have all those 50% that I'm growing back.
That's true.
Some are going to be breeding size this year, and it's going to take a much longer route. But when it's going to pay big. So
That's true.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. That's very true. That's very true.
Yeah. So I would say that, and just wasting a lot of time with customers that were just not the right ones. I feel like the more you advance and the more you take expertise in this hobby, you realize which type of customer you want to deal with, and it also goes hand to hand with what type of animals you want to breed
and what the quality is and whatnot like that too as well.
Personally, I wholesale pretty much everything that's under $300. Just because although I would make a lot more money if I would take the time to sell that individually, but I just rather focus all my energy on that $4,000 snake and my customer service, and then wholesale all those snakes and move to something else. If you have
makes sense.
It's just a black pastel het pied male. I'm even though I'm wholesaling it for $50 and I could make 150 possibly. It's not worth my time. Just move on. And so that's an error I had at the beginning. I really wanted to sell everything individually, and it didn't do that good. So that's what.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a good outlook on it, honestly, because you gotta think of it as you gotta feed it. That's costing you money. Your food. If Carr's sitting there feeding an animal he's sitting on, that's $10 a week.
Yep.
All day. If he's sitting on that, for a couple of months, add it up. Now you're getting, where you have way more money in food than what the snake is potentially worth. So,
absolutely. And if you're overwhelmed with
definitely got to think of that.
If you're overwhelmed with so many snakes, you're not going to take that same amount of time pushing, the snakes that you should actually be pushing. You're going to just have a mixed match of everything, and it's going to be too much. And, so yeah, I'd rather wholesale everything.
I get that.
Makes sense.
Do you have any advice for any new breeders out there that might be watching this, such as William?
I think you've touched that before, but it's mostly stick to what you're actually enjoying the most. It's not about where the market is going. It's really about what you actually enjoy. If you're all into lav, man, damn, go into lavender.
Go with it, right?
Just go with lavender and try to inspire yourself from what's already been made and try to do your own take on it. But I think that whenever someone starts, I think the most important thing, it's the same thing with any different field of life, cooking, anything. Just do your research and try to be as knowledgeable as you can when it comes to the husbandry, but most importantly, the genes and how they interact together. This is most of the time I see a lot of people, they breed some pairings. I'm like, okay, paper, that's cool because it's stacked, but what is the visual going to look like?
They don't know.
No, it's not going to be nice. This is
Right.
not
They have no idea.
exactly. So, it's be focused on what you like and do your research in order to understand the genes, how you can incorporate that into what you like. If you understand it very well, you're going to have a very precise idea and you're going to be able to follow that into the long run.
Right, for sure. So how much are you holding back compared to like what you sell? Like what's your threshold on that?
I'm really trying to sell more this year. Last year I've had like entire clutches. I was like, Matt, I'm holding everything back. But I try to hold back 1 or 2 snakes every 2 clutches.
Okay. Is that just your general rule of thumb now that you developed?
Honestly, I don't necessarily have a rule. I just try to hold back the animals that I know I can't afford anywhere else.
Correct.
So let's say I make just recently I made some double head hypo puzzle clutch and 1 female black pastel and 2 OD double head hypo puzzle. I'm debating if I should keep the 2 OD or sell one of them. But if I sell one, I'll have to upgrade it. So whenever I sell an animal that I'm like, oh, I would use that snake for sure. It's definitely an animal that would be helpful. If I sell it, I'm going to upgrade it. So if I sell, let's say, an OD double head, I'm going to try to buy a hypo puzzle female. So although I'm going to spend more, I'm always trying to upgrade. So selling my animals to buy something better. And if I can't buy it, then I hold it back.
Right. Because you want to try to keep your snake collection, like we said earlier, guys. Like, say you have 40 snakes, and you want to keep your 40 snakes here, but you want your gene pool to go up here, But you don't want to have 60 snakes where you can freaking, you got to sell off some, but you got to keep the higher end, of what you're making and whatnot too. So, I mean, I learned that. I learned that one throughout the years, throughout the 3 years stuff to do. So that's good information to have for people. What kind of racks are you using?
I started with melamine racks 2 years ago. Then I moved to some Reptile Industries like PVC racks.
Okay.
With vision tubs. I've had ARS for 2 years, 250, 55, 40 models, the hybrid. I like them a lot, but there you go. This just received some Freedom Breeder, the Pro line, the new Pro line. And honestly, I am considering moving everything to Freedom Breeder.
That's what I'm talking about. If I use Freedom Breeder.
And the main reason is going to be I love the shelves in the middle, man.
That's what I'm talking about. I love the shelves.
That's true.
Check this out, guys. If you don't know what he's talking about, these shelves here pull out. You got like working tables on it. It's so nice. And with the ARSs, you don't get that. You don't get that option. Yeah, it's $150 more option. It's so worth it.
I would not only take it to a few racks, I would take it to my entire room. Like for the ultrasound, it's so easy. Just put the ultrasound on the cart and you go there. It's insane. For cleaning, you basically don't even need a cart to clean. You can just clean like with the shelves. Whenever you want to take pictures or whatever, honestly, man, it's good. It's really good.
It is nice. It is really nice. Will said that ARS is coming back with it, so we'll see.
Really? Okay. That's interesting.
I mean, if they do, but I think for convenience for me and stuff, like when they ship the Freedom Breeder, like you just gotta really just like Velcro the heat tape on, stack it up, throw the tubs in. I'm done. I ain't gotta build it.
Yeah, well,
that's nice.
Pro line, so I had to still build them.
Right.
I gotta build it.
I didn't build mine. I didn't have to build mine.
Yeah, they were not like all welded, but I like them a lot, man. And I would say like realistically at the beginning, you don't necessarily need one expensive rack when your animals are not that expensive. Like the way I did it, I've let my animals buy my racks. That's that all the sales I was making at some point are like, I can buy some racks with the sales I'm making. And so I didn't hold back on buying snakes in order to get a good rack. I just bought the good snakes at first, and then once they were breeding, bought the good racks.
Yeah, that's what I did. I think that's what I did right. I went higher end on my snakes purchases. Yeah, I went with the sea serpents, PVCs, because they were nicely built at the time, and then they still are. I love them, and it was just nice to grow them up until But then by the time I was ready to buy my freedom breeder, they were already ready to be moved into the 70s and stuff. And I'm like, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like it's like guys, like when you're first starting off, what's gonna make you money? Some nice racks where you're going to have a couple $100 worth of snakes in, or are you going to have some cheaper PVC racks in, but you got these fire ass snakes that are 10, 20, whatever, $1,000. What's going to make you money? You got to think about that too. There's a fine line between it. There's a fine line between it.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you use for bedding?
Some cocoa husk.
Oh, you just use, okay. That's what most people use. I just touch bases on people so people knew like what you guys were using or whatnot. So hell yeah.
We've tried a lot of different things: paper, aspen shavings, some diamond dry, some tech fresh, a lot of different beddings. But I always go back to that cocoa husk, man. It's really good.
Solid.
Yeah,
it's solid.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you, how long does it? That's like since you work full time for NBK. How long does it take you to clean out those tubs?
Actually, the good thing is that I don't any of NBK's animals, so I have a staff that does that.
Oh, okay.
And the reason behind that is because at some point last year I was doing both, and I realized that I was kind of being a bit fed up of cleaning those two collections. It was kind of a lot, so I didn't want to lose my claim to do it, and I really enjoyed cleaning my animals. So I was speaking with Brian from NBK, and I was like, man, I'm gonna hire someone to clean that, and I'm training him also to feed everything. So mostly what I do is just the breeding and sales for NBK and marketing.
So that's your role, and I was wondering about that. I didn't know since you worked for him if you did all the the labor stuff.
I used to
focused on the management and breeding and his. So do you get to pick his pairings, or does he just tell you like, hey, this is what I want to pair? Make it happen.
I have a full whiteboard, man. I decide whatever I can breed, whatever I can sell, hold back, buy, and everything. So I'm really I have two collections on my own. Like I'm doing.
Right.
He just comes in. He's like, "What you're pairing this year? Oh, this cool, this cool. What's your thought? Oh, this. Oh, that should be cool. All right, cool. Enjoy it, man." So that's fun.
That's awesome, man. So I got to ask. So do you get since you work how do you get a cut of that? Of those clutches, or
I don't get a cut. The way we were actually setting it up at the beginning is for me not to make a lot of money, but to save.
Right.
So basically, I'm not paying anything for the room I'm in. I don't have a power bill. My rats, I haven't spent a single dollar out of my pocket for rats in 4 years, which is insane. I mean, my rat bill is very high, but all the wholesale goes to cover that. I have some credit whenever I work goes to that. And from time to time, I will sell him an animal. It's going to cover some of those expenses. The only thing I really pay is international shipping, Canada shipping.
Right.
But that's something I pay. But I don't get a cut. With dinkers, what I do get is free dinkers.
So that's what I was wondering. Do you get to choose say he produces something fire rate? Oh hey, let me get first dibs on that real quick, or wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So whenever there's something that he produced and that I really want, I take it. So
yeah, I don't blame you too. I said I might get into that cantaloupe gene or burn gene down in the future. We'll see, man.
Oh yeah, man, and it's cool. This year, hopefully we can unlock a lot more potential with all those genes. It's fun. I don't have cantaloupe yet in my own collection.
Right.
I have some apricot. I have some burn. But this year I'm going to pick up some cantaloupe. I'm thinking about maybe one female I want to get, but might actually do a split pairing with a clown male of my own and just pick out a crazy cantaloupe head clown male.
Oh yeah, dude. I said get a hold of me at some point, man. When you're ready to release.
Oh, for sure, man. I'll hook you up. Don't worry about
Hook
that.
me up, dude. Or have some of that hypo attached to it. I really got sure.
Oh yeah,
So,
we're definitely this year. It's going to be some OD, Enchi, Cantaloupe, het hypo stuff probably.
that's nice, man. I like that, dude.
Cool.
I like to see that for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure. So, well, you got any more questions for him, Carr?
What was your first pairing you ever did with ball pythons?
My first one was a
Very first
pastel to a pastel clown that turned out to be het hypo. I didn't know. So basically a pastel clown het hypo to an Enchi pastel. That was in 2016.
Oh, dang. How was the outcome?
Good. I actually have, it's fun because I have 3 generations now. So I still have that.
Dang.
I have the Enchi pastel het clown that she produced. And this girl is massive, good breeder. I have the super pastel clown post het hypo that Enchi pastel produced. And this one's breeding this year, expecting eggs. So I should have a 4th generation this year. And I'm definitely going to hold back a female from there and working on those generations in the future. I want to have that whole like genealogy of
right.
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
That was the thing too with Canova's app too, is that you can trace generations as well on that app, which is really cool. I gotta ask, based off that too. So do you have any of those sentimental snakes that you're just like, I'm not getting rid of no matter what?
Oh yeah, that my first original Enchi pastel female, she's never gonna move anywhere.
Right.
Although like she's always a headache to pair because realistically I don't have that much to do with the Enchi pastel. But I don't mind, man. I just want to keep it in my racks. I have banana Enchi that was also from 2016. That's one of my favorite snake. This female's not gonna move anywhere. No, I'm not that like I'm not that much attached to like single particular animals.
Right.
I'm okay moving.
You just
them.
have your few.
Yeah, but my few were not touching. Yeah.
Right. I got a few too. Like my very first one was a banana Mojave. Like,
there you go.
I'm never gonna get rid of them. My very first ball python. So probably my most expensive, my first big purchase at that time. I probably won't get rid of either. It's so hard. I mean, you got your sentimental one. So, well, Antoine, I'm gonna let you go, dude. I'm gonna play our intro one more time. I hope you had fun on the podcast and stuff, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks for inviting me, man. It was a fun one.
Definitely.
Hey, dude, it was fun. It was fun talking to you at Tinley, dude. Hopefully
next time, Justin, be there.
Yeah, I will be there next year.
Yeah,
I plan on hitting all the RBCs. I'm going to do Texas, Tinley, maybe try to do Anaheim Super Show.
We can throw a picture up there, you looking cool with Antoine and stuff, but no.
Yeah.
So, I appreciate it, Antoine. Hey guys, I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. We're out of here. Here's that intro one more time in case you missed it. See ya.
1, 2, 3, come on.